As U.S. citizens, one of the most important dates in history that still affect our lives to this day is September 17, 1787, when the United States Constitution was signed by 40 delegates in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It inspired and assured us of our freedoms that we harbor being an American, and it safeguarded the natural laws of life, liberty, and property. Many United States citizens today feel that the Constitution is slowly being stripped away limb by limb because of the constant change in government actions. Especially within the last decade, there have been a substantial amount of laws, passed or not passed, that question our views of the Bill of Rights. I myself am not what you call a knowledgeable politic follower. However, I can understand how some Americans could perceive these actions as a negative toward our rights. In fact, as U.S. citizens, we now have to obtain medical health care insurance in 2014, or we will be penalized for not purchasing it. Therefore, the government has provided us with another option of health care maintenance, officially called the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, ACA, also known as Obamacare. The ACA is a U.S. law that reforms both the healthcare and the health insurance industries in America. In the book titled A Different Perspective on the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, published in 2014, it declares that the law is to ensure the quality, availability, and affordability of private public health care insurance to over 44 million uninsured Americans through its many provisions, which include new regulations, taxes, mandates, and subsidies according to the ObamacareFacts.com, which is an unbiased, informative website. The key provisions of this Healthcare Act include measures to eliminate pre-existing conditions, stop insurance companies from dropping us when we're sick, as well as expand the availability of Medicaid program that would reach 15 million Americans who used to earn too much to qualify. One of the most shocking facts that I myself and many of my public health classmates found out simultaneously, and that I briefly touched on in the intro, is a penalty will be bestowed upon us if we have no medical insurance for any months during this year. A quote from ObamacareFacts.com stated this: Obamacare's many provisions give new patient protections to dealing with insurance companies and in return mandate that everyone who can afford to must obtain health care insurance by 2014, get an exemption, or pay a penalty. As I dug even deeper into the subject matter about the dues that will be paid if we cannot afford medical health care, which is more like a double negative statement, I found that in order to avoid the fees, one will have to obtain minimum essential coverage, which entitles having Medicaid, Medicare, or a base coverage from an insurance agency, or the base care that is called Bronze Health Care Plan from the ACA, which I will elaborate on in a few minutes. One must also accumulate the coverage for the whole fiscal year. On this first slide, the chart shows the fees in conjunction with the ACA found on the ObamacareFact.com website. As you can see, as the years go further up, so does the dues. $95 for an adult, hops to $325 in 2015, hops to $695 in 2016. Also an important fact about this is in 2014, up to $285 per household, or 1% of the yearly income, whichever is greater. 2015, up to $975 per household, or 2% of yearly household income, whichever is greater. And for 2016, $2,085 per household, or 2.5% of your yearly household income, whichever is greater. So it's very, very important for people to get their health care so they will not have to pay these fees. So in order to dodge these fees, we as Americans need to be informed of what health care options ACA is providing and how to go about enrolling. The next open enrollment day for Obamacare starts November 15th, 2014, and it goes through February 15th, 2015. The coverage will last annually, so you will have to reapply annually. The next slide shows that there are 4 ways to enroll. You can either enroll in person, over the phone, paper application, or online. There are also 4 plans that are made available for us at the marketplace from the ACA, which include Bronze, which I had talked about earlier. That is the minimal that you can get, and the customer would have to pay 40%, while the insurance plan would pay 60%. As you pay more, obviously, they will pay more. $30.70 for silver, $20.80 for gold, and $10.90 for platinum. The next slide just simply shows that the value for the levels of coverage provided by quality health plans. So, in conclusion, I guess the real question is, if the United States can make this healthcare system work, disregarding the fact that the UK attempted this for over 60 years to prove that the socialized medicine works, and they have shown precisely the very opposite of that. On the last note, I will leave you with the statement that David Catron, who actually published an article on the American Spectator's website, he said, and you can form your own perspective on this, he claimed this: "We are implementing Obamacare when the UK has shown that the government-run healthcare does not work and is beginning to move away from it. What is wrong with this picture?" Thank you so much for listening.